Hello everyone and welcome back to Very Cold Lasagna, your filthy casual place for all the filthy casual takes on the world of sports. I am DylanLasagna and welcome back to another round of my weekly preview and picks for the 2022 NFL season. And let me just first say happy holidays to you all, and for whatever holiday you celebrate, whether it's Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or Christmas, happy holidays from me to you here at Very Cold Lasagna. So anyway, we got a big slate of games for us football fans or sports fans, whichever one you watch, whether it's football, basketball. Yeah, it's a big holiday slate of games. But here at Very Cold Lasagna, we're here to talk about some NFL action here as we get ready for a holiday week 16. And we got games on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So, oh boy, it's a big weekend of football as the playoff race either gets grinchy or gifty for some of these teams. So that being said, let's get right into the slate of games that is to come on this holiday weekend. So starting things off on Thursday Night Football, only on Amazon Prime Video. Unfortunately, Santa still could not gift us away the $15 paywall that Amazon still requires us viewers. But anyway, the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the New York Jets 19-3. Trevor Lawrence still efficient, put on a show in the rain. Unfortunately for Zach Wilson, not so much, man. He got benched yet again. Like for Chris, whatever his name, like some CFL quarterback. Not looking good for Gang Green, but the Jaguars, all of a sudden, like right on the heels of overtaking the Tennessee Titans in the AFC South, and all they gotta do is win out. Like the Jaguars are for real, man. The Jaguars, at least for the AFC South, per se. So they beat the Jets 19-3. They controlled their own destiny in terms of winning the AFC South. So looking at the rest of the Week 16 slate as we transition over to our actual picks for this coming week. Looking at the early morning portion of Christmas Eve on Saturday, we start with the early morning portion as the Atlanta Falcons at 5-9 take on the 9-5 Baltimore Ravens. Technically, Atlanta's still alive in the playoff race because, well, the NFC South is just as terrible as the AFC South is because, well, Atlanta, still riding on Desmond Ridder because Marcus Mariota's out. It showed a little flashes in Atlanta. They're technically focusing more on the future. But they're hoping to see more flashes out of him passing wise as they hope to keep their very slim hopes alive for the division. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, I'm not sure if they're going to be getting Lamar Jackson back on Saturday. If not, then it's going to be more Tyler Huntley, and they better hope that they get more efficiency out of their offense because that was not good against the Browns. So against a very bad Falcons defense, I think they even with Tyler Huntley, if as long as they do well, they bounce back, then I think they should get it done. So give me the Ravens in this game. The Detroit Lions at 7-7 take on the 5-9 Carolina Panthers. Man, the Lions defense continuing to roar, and Jared Goff, doing solid as well. Detroit vying for that last NFC wildcard slot, trying to steal that away from Washington in its push for a playoff spot. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they got to bounce back, man. They're trying to keep their slim division hopes alive, trying to steal that away from Tampa. Honestly, they have a little bit of a more realistic chance to do it, but it's starting to fade away going into a critical Week 17 matchup against them in Tampa Bay. So, unfortunately, it's going to slip away even further as I'm going with the Lions in this one. The 11-3 Buffalo Bills take on the Chicago Bears at 5-9 in some bear weather in the very cold conditions of Chicago. And Josh Allen and the Bills are just one step closer to clinching the AFC East for the third straight season. All they have to do is beat the Bears. But Justin Fields is looking to play spoiler to the Bills' hopes at not just the AFC East, but the top seed. And yeah, the Bears actually played the Eagles tough last week, and they could do the same against Josh Allen, the Bills. So I don't think it's going to happen. in spite of the very cold conditions. So I'm going to go with the Bills in this game. But don't sleep on the Bears in spite of them trying to win a meaningless game. The New Orleans Saints at 5-9 take on the 6-8 Cleveland Browns. Yeah, the Saints still somehow alive in the NFC South hunt after they beat the Atlanta Falcons and swept the season series. So, yeah, they're just trying to keep their hopes alive. If they want to somehow get in it, they can't afford another loss. So they're gonna have to do that against the Skid Marks, who, despite a very low score in Week 15, they did pretty solid defensively. And, despite a rusty Deshaun Watson, he actually did a little better, showed a little bit more improvement against the Baltimore Ravens. So I think we're going to go with the Browns here, just because, they have the slightly better quarterback and a slightly better defense. So I don't know. Give me the Browns in this game. The Seattle Seahawks at 7-7 take on the 11-3 Kansas City Chiefs. Geno Smith, the offense, they got to find a way to snap their losing skid against a suddenly struggling Chiefs secondary. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they just have more than their secondary to solve. Their offense has got to find a way to play cleaner. They've been turning the ball over lately. Mahomes has been playing fine. It's just everyone else around him is just like, man, they've been playing very odd lately. So I think they find their footing in this game against the Seahawks, who are in a must-win game to keep their hopes alive in the playoffs. So give me the AFC West champions in this game. The New York Giants at 8-5-1 take on the Minnesota Vikings at 11-3. The Giants do have an opportunity to clinch their first playoff berth in this game if they can upset the Vikings and a little bit of help this week. So they might not be able to do it this week, even if they win. But another win here, an upset one that matter, always helps. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they're looking to follow up the biggest comeback in NFL history, even though it was more of the Colts choking than the Vikings winning it. But their defense is showing still a very serious concern. So even though I'm going with the Vikings here, don't be surprised if the defense still lays another egg in this one. The Cincinnati Bengals at 10-4 take on the 7-7 New England Patriots. The Bengals did clinch the playoff spot thanks to the Jets losing. So now for Joe Burrow and the Bengals, their focus is now strengthening that hold on the AFC North, especially with the Ravens struggling offensively. And if the Bengals can win this game against New England and the Ravens keep losing, they might have the North clinched by Week 17 if they can upset the Bills. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, their hopes all of a sudden on life support after whatever happened against the Raiders, that ending, they just shot themselves in the foot completely, and they're probably gonna shoot themselves again if they lose to the Bengals. So even the Bengals in this game. The Houston Texans at 12-1 take on the Tennessee Titans at 7-7 in this AFC South division battle. The terrible Texans, I gotta say, they're on their way to clinching the number 1 overall pick. But they've been playing tough against playoff contenders lately, despite losing those games. But they've been playing them hard. They've been playing them tough. So, I mean, you've been cutting it close. But at the end of the day, it's all about that number 1 overall pick for Houston. Meanwhile, for the Tennessee Titans, they just lost Ryan Tannehill for the season, very likely with the ankle injury. And even with Tannehill or Malik Willis, their offense is falling apart. Derrick Henry is getting shut down after the first half. So during this 4-game skid, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for the Titans. And I hate to say it, I'm gonna have to pick the Houston Texans here. With the way the Titans have been performing offensively, their defense has been doing fine. It's just that their offense is been very bad. It's been very bad lately. And yes, the Texans suck, but at least they can play some teams lately tougher than Tennessee has. And I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy how Tennessee has completely fallen off. So give me the Houston Texans in a very big upset, if you can even call it that, against the Titans. Going to the late afternoon portion of Christmas Eve, the Washington Commanders at 7-6-1 take on my San Francisco 49ers at 10-4. Washington, all of a sudden, also clinging on to that last NFC wildcard spot because, well, they couldn't take care of their business against the New York Giants on Sunday night, especially with that turnover-riddled performance by Taylor Heineke. So they have to go into this game against my 49ers to hopefully upset them and keep their playoff hopes alive. Meanwhile, for my 49ers, they've clinched the NFC West, but now it's all about trying to get that number 2 seed and win this game and hope that Minnesota slips one up in the final 3 games. But the important thing is, though, seeing how Brock Purdy does against tougher competition. I think this could be a big test for him against a better defensive line with Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, and the others. So this could be a good test for him. And at the same time, though, Kyle Shanahan has also to decide the perfect balance of going for that number 2 seed and the starter's health. So I am going to go with my 49ers in this game. So it's an important decision for Shanahan to make. The Philadelphia Eagles at 13-1 take on the Dallas Cowboys at 10-4 in a very big Christmas Eve matchup. The Eagles have an opportunity to clinch the NFC East and the NFC's top seed, but it's going to be a tall task for them because they won't have Jalen Hurts with the sprained shoulder that he suffered in the Chicago game. So they're going to ask Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite to come in Dallas to upset the Cowboys. No, I'm just kidding. It's Gardner Minshew. We all remember Gardner Minshew, right? From the Jaguars, when he came in, shocked the world for like a couple weeks, and then he fell off. Yeah, he's gonna have to come in, try to step up to the plate and upset that vaunted Cowboys defense. Speaking of the Cowboys, oh man, no, I mean the offense has been solid. It's just Dak Prescott has been turning the ball over a little too much lately, and he's facing another major test against a game Eagles defense. Now, it's going to be a hard-fought battle, even with Jalen Hurts out. Don't get me wrong. Who's going to come out on top? It's going to be a little hard to say. I think even with Jalen Hurts out, I do think that the Eagles can find a way to top the Cowboys. It's going to be very close, though, because the defense can give Dak Prescott some fits. The running game, I think they could find a way to poke some holes in that defense for Dallas. So I'm going to go with the Eagles in a very close battle as they clinch the NFC East and the top seed. Then we have an NFL Network nightcap game because they're celebrating the Immaculate Reception's 50th anniversary. The Las Vegas Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers face off, both at 6 and 8. It's a de facto playoff elimination game for both teams. And the Raiders, they're actually very fortunate that they got that win last week. And they stayed alive in the playoff race as they try to build off that improbable win against New England. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, Kenny Pickett's supposed to be back, and they're hoping for like one last gasp at a very unlikely playoff spot. Sure, the Steelers play hard, but you can say the same for a lot of other teams, but I don't think it's happening for Pittsburgh. So give me the Raiders in this nightcap game. So then we get to the actual Christmas Day Sunday slate, the very first time that the NFL has a triple header, and it's going head. I don't think it's like going head to head with the NBA, but it's like going like the time frame's a little bit the same as the NBA 5-game slate. So the NBA's got some serious competition, man, and especially with all the injuries like going on with some of these teams, including my Golden State Warriors. Ugh. So anyway, going to the Christmas Day Sunday slate, the Green Bay Packers at 6 and 8 take on the Miami Dolphins at 8 and 6. The Packers and Aaron Rodgers, man, just so stubborn. They don't want to start Jordan Love. I don't know why. They're not going to make the playoffs, man. There's just too many teams surging like the Lions. So anyway, the Packers seeking another win and some help to keep their unlikely playoff push alive. And this is their big test to do it because the Dolphins, they need a win too. to snap their skid and surge back into the wild card race. I mean, sure, they're the number 7 seed, but they've been struggling offensively, and I think this is the game to get them back on track. So I'm gonna go with the Dolphins in this game. And then the middle game that nobody asked for, especially now nobody asked for, the Denver Broncos and the LA Rams, both at 4-10. Oh boy, yeah. I'm gonna feel so bad for all the kids that have to watch this on Nickelodeon. They're like, you literally don't have anything to say. I literally don't have anything to say about this game. The kids have to watch Brett Rippon if he has to start over Russell Wilson. If Russell Wilson can't play this game, Brett Rippon or Russell Wilson going up against Baker Mayfield. Like, what is this game? What is this game? The kids are going to have to suffer through watching these two disgraced teams that were supposed to be playoff contenders, and then they're not. They are like dead eliminated. It's like, goddamn. Think of the children, man. Nickelodeon, think of the children. You couldn't have flexed this out for a more competitive game on Nick? And Jim Nantz and Tony Romo have to suffer through this, man. Come on. Come on. This is so embarrassing. I guess I've had to pick someone. Denver, I guess. Yikes. The Tampa Bay Bucks at 6-8 take on the 4-10 Arizona Cardinals. The Bucks, they got to find a way to minimize their mistakes. They shot themselves in the foot way too much in the second half against the Cincinnati Bengals. And this is a prime opportunity for them unless they find a way to fuck themselves over against a already eliminated Cardinals team who are going to be starting Trace McSorley under center. And yeah, Cliff Kingsbury is likely coaching for his job at this point. Unless, ownership is smoking some crack and believe Cliff Kingsbury is doing fine. So give me the Bucks in the Christmas Day nightcap. Then we have the Monday Night Football game to close out a Christmas weekend. The LA Chargers at 8-6 take on the already eliminated 4-9-1 Indianapolis Colts. The Chargers are kind of in a position to clinch their postseason berth. The Jets already lost, but they need the Patriots and the Raiders to lose their games. So the Chargers, if things go their way this coming weekend, they have an opportunity to clinch their postseason berth like by Monday. And for the Colts, well, just how more embarrassing can this get for them? For Jeff Saturday's Colts, they already benched Matt Ryan. He's already third on the depth chart, so he's probably not going to play for the rest of these last 3 games. And they're going to be starting Nick Foles. Like, we totally forgot Nick Foles was on the Colts. Like, how did they forget that? Come on, man. Like, why did they turn Nick Foles like earlier in the year if they knew Matt Ryan was going to be this bad? Like, really? Anyway, I think the Chargers are going to pull this out unless they clipper it up as usual. So the Chargers are probably going to win this game. So those are your Week 16 picks for this Christmas weekend edition of the 2022 season. Let me know your thoughts. Who's going to get gifted? Who's going to get grinched? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So anyway, this is DylanLasagna of Very Cold Lasagna. And keep that lasagna very cold in the fridge with your takes on the world of sports. And enjoy the Christmas spirit of football this weekend. Or enjoy the holiday in general with your family, your friends. And yeah, until next time, peace out.